Have you ever lived with a narcissist? If so, you're not alone and the effects can be long-lasting. Narcissistic abuse is a type of emotional and psychological harm inflicted by individuals who display pathological narcissism. It's more common than you might think, touching countless lives across the globe. This topic is not just another trending buzzword. It holds immense significance, as it can leave a profound and enduring impact on the victims, often leading to a myriad of mental and physical health issues. The effects can linger for years, sometimes even long after the narcissist is no longer a part of your life. But why are we discussing this? It's because understanding narcissistic abuse and its long-term effects is the first step towards healing. It's about recognizing the signs, acknowledging the damage, and ultimately, empowering oneself to break free. In the next few minutes, we will delve deeper into the long-term effects of narcissistic abuse and explore some real-life case studies. Stay tuned. Scene script. Meet Jane. She lived with a narcissist for 5 years and experienced emotional abuse. Jane's story isn't unusual. She was constantly made to feel inadequate, always second-guessing her worth. This emotional torment left lingering scars, even years after she escaped the narcissist's clutches. A narcissist's emotional abuse is like a slow-acting poison, gradually seeping into the victim's psyche, corrupting their perception of self. For Jane, the effects were profound. She developed anxiety, a constant companion whispering worst-case scenarios into her ear, making simple tasks feel like insurmountable challenges. Depression also found its way into Jane's life. The joy she once found in her favorite activities faded into oblivion. She'd wake up to a world devoid of color, every day a struggle to find meaning and motivation. But perhaps the most insidious of all was the post-traumatic stress disorder. Jane found herself haunted by her past, reliving the narcissist's harsh words and demeaning actions in vivid detail. It was as if a movie of her worst experiences was on repeat in her mind, a cruel reminder of the emotional torment she had endured. These long-term effects of narcissistic abuse are not just Jane's cross to bear. Countless victims carry similar emotional baggage, their lives forever marked by the time they spent under the narcissistic thumb. Jane's case is not unique. Many victims of narcissistic abuse experience similar emotional trauma, and it's time we shed more light on this covert form of emotional abuse. Now let's talk about Robert. He also lived with a narcissist, but he experienced physical effects. Imagine, if you will, a man named Robert. He shared his life with a narcissist, and while the emotional toll was immense, it was the physical impact that left an undeniable mark. Our bodies are deeply connected to our minds, and when the mind is in distress, the body often follows suit. For Robert, the stress of living with a narcissist manifested itself in a myriad of health issues. Robert began to suffer from chronic stress-related illnesses. His immune system, constantly on high alert due to the relentless emotional strain, began to falter. He found himself falling ill more often, the common cold turning into a recurring guest. His body was simply too exhausted to fight back. Sleep disorders also became a part of Robert's reality. The constant tension, the walking on eggshells, it all kept him awake at night. His mind, perpetually racing with anxiety, refused to let him rest. This lack of sleep, in turn, further weakened his immune system and left him feeling perpetually fatigued. And then there were the other health issues, the migraines triggered by stress, the high blood pressure induced by constant anxiety, the stomach ulcers caused by perpetual worry. Robert's body was screaming for relief, a physical testament to the toll narcissistic abuse can take. Just like Jane, Robert also continues to suffer the consequences of narcissistic abuse. So, what exactly is narcissistic abuse, and why does it have such long-lasting effects? Narcissistic abuse is a form of emotional and psychological manipulation, typically perpetrated by individuals showcasing narcissistic tendencies. These individuals often possess an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. The abuse can take various forms, including demeaning comments, manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional neglect. It's a toxic blend of love-bombing and devaluation, a cycle that's not only confusing but also extremely damaging. But what makes narcissistic abuse so harmful, and why does it create such long-lasting effects? The answer lies in its insidious nature. It's often subtle, covert, and wrapped in a facade of love or concern, making it difficult for the victims to recognize and understand what's happening. This can lead to self-doubt, anxiety, and a distorted self-perception. Over time, this constant state of tension and confusion can cause serious health issues. It can lead to chronic stress, which in turn can trigger a host of physical health problems, from heart disease to weakened immune function. The psychological impact can be equally devastating, leading to conditions like depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Knowing the signs of narcissistic abuse can help you protect yourself and seek help if necessary. Recognizing the patterns and understanding the dynamics at play is the first step towards healing and recovery. It's a journey, but remember, you're not alone. Living with a narcissist can be a challenging experience, but there are ways to cope and heal. It's important to remember that you're not alone in this journey. Countless others have walked this path before you, and there's a wealth of resources available to assist you. One such resource is therapy. Engaging with a mental health professional who is knowledgeable about narcissistic abuse can be incredibly beneficial. They can provide you with strategies to manage the emotional turmoil and help you understand the dynamics of your situation. This understanding can be a powerful tool in your healing process. Self-care is another crucial coping strategy. It might sound simple, but taking time for yourself, whether that's a quiet moment with a book, a walk in nature, or simply allowing yourself to feel your emotions without judgment, can be incredibly healing. Prioritizing your needs and well-being is not selfish. It's a necessary part of your recovery journey. Building a support network is also essential. This could be friends, family, or even online communities of people who've experienced similar situations. Having people who understand what you're going through can provide a sense of solidarity and comfort. And finally, there are numerous online resources, books, and support groups available to provide further help. So remember, you are not alone, and there is help available. The journey to recovery may be challenging, but it is entirely possible. Stay strong and keep moving forward.